right on time. Am I getting you on one of those days where you got like an interview every 20 minutes and there's like 12 of them?
Nah, no, not really. No, today, actually, this is the only one today. I'm at my rehearsal space over here. I had actually some lessons with some young people just before this one. So actually, I was teaching kids how to scream just before.
Which you do very, very well on a high level. A lot of people, they scream twice and they blow their voice out permanently.
Yeah.
What kind of vocal maintenance does it take for you to be singing in a band like this at such a high level?
Well, it doesn't. It's actually all about the right technique, and that's what sort of what I'm teaching here. Because quite many of these young people I teach, they have a band or something, but they sort of they're about to give up because they hurt really bad or something like that. And with these lessons, I can sort of speed up the process to not have them, not hurt themselves so badly. So that's why then it's been really cool actually, to do this. So yeah, but yeah, you're the only interview today. So.
2 thumbs up, man. I really appreciate your time and all that. And you've got a great new record. Is it true? The first in 7 years?
Yep.
Wow. When you hear that a band, it's the first record in 7 years, you go either there was a hiatus, either they fired a producer a few times, or like Axl Rose style, they just kept writing and writing and writing and didn't know which 12 songs to do. Which one was it for you guys?
Yeah, it was more, the Axl Rose kind of style of this one. We have had quite a long album cycle. Usually it's been like 3 to maybe 4 years between albums. That's kind of normal. For example, between Nifelvind and Vredesvavd, there was 2010 and 2013. So there was, that's the usual gap we have had for the 3 albums before at least, and
right.
In the beginning as well, it was quite often. But yeah, so this time around, it was sort of, as you said, like the Axl Rose thing. But in the beginning, I think it was after we had toured on Vredesvavd album for like 2 years, we decided that we're gonna check out and see if we can write something, and we did. Like I think it was 1.5 song or something like that, and it wasn't right. It didn't feel good enough. And tried to write, and there was lots of riffs, but nothing really. We were pulling in different directions, and nothing really worked. So we decided to do this 10-year anniversary of the Not album tour, and we did that for a little bit over a year.
Mm-hmm.
So. And after that, we tried to write something again, and we had lots of ideas again, but nothing was really clicking and nothing was really right. So, and then we were already like there at 4 years something, 4-year mark, and we were like, we need to have an album out like next year. But we couldn't write anything that we were, that we were really happy with. Nothing. We had a couple of full songs, but they couldn't be fit on the same album. With Fintroll, it's always been that we write lots and lots of stuff, and then at some point you make a song that's like, this is actually the sound we want for the album. This is what we want to have, and then you go back and rewrite those old stuff to match this song and in the style of this one. So, but this red thread, or what we're gonna call it, we didn't find it actually. It was lost, and it was like so many different threads, and so we just decided, like, let's not stress about it, because pressure was building up that we need to have a new album. Just like take it easy, do some festivals, do some smaller areas, like go a little bit further away when we haven't been in a while, like South America, Australia, Asia, something like that, and do those gigs, and let's see again, on the way. And all of a sudden, it's 2019, and there's like 6 years.
Yeah. And imagine.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, we wrote something, but nothing really clicked. But last year I asked the guys, you know, that we really need to have an album out in 2020, and I asked them if it's okay if I ask Century Media for a deadline, and they said, yeah, go ahead, let's see. So we, you know, but we, you know, we need to have enough time, and they gave me a deadline that was like, I think it was like 8-9 months into the future, something like that. It was it was like quite exactly 1 year ago, and I think we had until May with the deadline to deliver the master for the album. And I talked to Trollhorn, and he said, yeah, well, this is doable. We just have to start writing, you know. It's like,
yeah.
And we had those couple of songs that we were sort of happy with, you know, that we just left them there. You know, we had the list where we have songs. We started writing like lots and lots of riffs here and there, and I think Tundra, he just had like, into our Google Drive, he sent like 20 songs that was like half finished, and you know, there was like 1 or 2 riffs, maybe 3 in some, but you know, not really anything, like not full songs or anything.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so here, this is the starting point we have here. And then, but then we wrote a couple of songs, and on the album, did you listen to the album?
Yes, I've had the pleasure of listening. Selena is a great publicist.
All right, perfect. Yeah, the song Döda med en sten, that's like the opening track, you know, after the intro. And that song, when we wrote that one, that was like, all right, so this should be the style. This is what we're looking for. And that was sort of the icebreaker. And after that one, we wrote a couple of songs, and then we redid some of the old we had as well on the way. So, for example, Force, and that's the animated video we did. That's sort of that's sort of the one of the first songs I think that's the first full song we ever did for this album, and that is like 2015 or something like that. We had already that song, but we rewrote it now to fit with the rest of the material. So yeah. But long story short, here we are.
Yeah, it's great. One thing I'm curious about is, in working with a lot of bands over the years in management and behind the scenes kind of stuff, I know that if you're an American metal band, odds are there's a designer that you use that's maybe in Sweden. The mastering guy might be in Canada or the US and all that.
Yeah.
For your album, is everything in Finland? Is the artist there, the mastering there? So everything's in Finland?
Yeah, well, we have sort of everything, you know, everything that was now, you know, in the recording process, because, I live a little further away from Helsinki, but we recorded in Helsinki. We also mastered it in Helsinki, and we have, you know, rehearsal space, and most of our guys live over there as well. So we sort of had everything there. The only thing we don't have is, well, of course we have our merchandise is in Germany, because, you know, it's far away to ship from Finland, you know, to everywhere, you know, and you have to sort of go by boat or fly it, you know, if you want the gear. It's not like, so it's easier when you have it in Germany, central of Europe, so you can drive the merch. But and also our booking agent is also in Germany, but other than that, we are in Finland. And but the only thing for this album was our guitar player. He lives also in Germany right now. He moved there. It's a long time ago. It's probably soon going to be 10 years, actually. But yeah, so he lives in Germany, has his own tattoo studio over there. So he was the only one that actually had to come into Finland to make the album, you know.
Well, being a very nerdy person, the way that I learned about the world was basically through heavy metal and or professional wrestling when I was a kid. So I didn't, like, the American school system does not teach you very much about Finland, unfortunately. And then as you get older and you learn about Finland, you go, wow, why do I not live there? This is an amazing country. And my gateway to Finland, like many Americans, was Hanoi Rocks, because Roses put them out and made them a thing. And then you dig more and you go, there's so many great bands and people from Finland. How did I know that? But from what I understand, Hanoi Rocks is like a niche band in Finland. They're just pretty much famous in the US and in Japan. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, definitely. You know, everybody knows the classic songs, you know, but I don't think they really like boomed that much in Finland that they did in the States, you know, back in It's like
Mid-80s.
mid-80s, yeah. So yeah, and they actually really caught on with the whole glam rock scene over there. I don't think the glam stuff was that big here in Finland. Well, everybody knows about, of course, like Kiss and Mötley Crüe and everything, but I don't think it was as big a boom over here that it was actually either in the States. So yeah.
Well, that was going to be my next question. See, when I speak to hard rock and metal musicians that are over the age of 38, let's just say, when I speak to musicians that are under 38, odds are they didn't like Kiss or Van Halen unless they had an older brother or a parent or something.
Yeah.
Like that. And when you speak to the musicians over 38, 40, they go, well, I wouldn't have picked up guitar if it weren't for Ace Frehley or Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you of that, like, Kiss, Mötley Crüe got me into it, but then I grew out of it?
No, actually, I'm not. I sort of missed the whole glam rock thing as well, so I never really listened to it. I listened to some Alice Cooper back in the day, in the end of the 80s, and Scorpions and stuff like that. But I was never really into the glam scene. I was more like I grew up with more the different side of the rock instead. So I was more of like a prog rock guy. So when I was a kid, I listened to Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, like the British prog rock. Well, Beatles, Rolling Stones. That's that was mine. Queen. So I'm more of like the British prog rock guy. But yeah, so that's why I sort of missed all the glam bands, because I was listening to
all the
British
rock. Yeah. So were you singing like this as a kid? I would imagine not. I would imagine that at a certain point in time, you just tried screaming and then started doing it, blew your voice out, and then learned how to do it. Do I have that correct?
Exactly. Well, high school for me, it was, the Finnish version of high school. It's like, I think it was, I have to check which year it was, but I think it's in 97, I started my first like extreme metal band. It was like melodic black metal kind of thingy, and in 97 we started. It was end of 97, and we needed someone to sing, and I was a bass player back then. So I sort of said I would try it because I had, like the easiest part in the band. The drummer he played like fast blast beats. Of course, he won't sing, and the guitar player also had like melodies and solos and stuff like that. So I got, it fell on me to try to learn singing. So yeah, I was around 15 when I started. Yeah.
And let me ask this. What was the turning point where music became a career, not just something you did on weekends? Because beyond doing the band, as you mentioned before, you're teaching people. So it sounds like all music all the time. Yeah,
I've sort of never been in any other. Well, I had some jobs when I was younger, though, that wasn't really connected that much to music. I sold like TVs and stereos, mobile phones. Yeah, I worked for this like home electronic store. So it's a little bit like music, but yeah. But I went into the music scene in the beginning of 2000s. Actually, 2002 I started school. I started actually studying sound engineering. So my first years I was actually a sound engineer. So I was on the other side of the microphone. Yeah. But then in 2006, I got the Finntroll deal, and after that I've been like 80% of my incomes is from Finland, from Fintroll, and the rest is from this teaching stuff. And I also have I don't only teach in growling. I also have all this kind of networking and like in music industry lessons that I give as well, and
Well, I find that frontmen of bands are either the most personable, networking-y kind of people, or the people who don't leave their house ever. And I think I know which one You're the kind of guy that's always going to make it work no matter what it is.
Yeah, I'm the one that is always out there, and I do all these kind of social gatherings with, even if it's for band or I have my my pupils with me, then both of them. Yeah, I'm the one that goes everywhere all the time.
Yeah, so sometimes you hear it's the singer that got the band the record deal because they were the person that was hanging out and gave the demo or whatever the equivalent is there. So 2 quick questions, and then you're a free man. And the first one is, you've been home like everybody for months now, much more than you were because you used to be touring a lot more and all that kind of stuff. Any TV or film discoveries that you can recommend? And it's totally cool if it is not in English.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I have actually had so much to do this few months because the first months they totally went, in the studio. Well, of the lockdown, we didn't really need to have a full lockdown, but all bars, restaurants, everything they closed. We were in the studio. We were actually fortunate to actually be able to go into the studio and record the album still, because as long as we were less than 10 people, we could actually be in the studio at the same time. So we had to, we couldn't have any friends. We couldn't have the whole band couldn't be there at the same time. Right. But we could do it. So I didn't really watch any TV for many months. And now, when we recorded the album, it's actually been so much work. But right now, I'm a big sci-fi guy. So I have a huge sleeping problems. So I actually found out that my best medicine for sleeping is actually to watch Netflix, and fall asleep, with my phone or my tab, there right next to me. So I've on a mission to watch everything Star Trek related right now. So,
wow.
So I have a Star Trek marathon going on. So I'm now, from the beginning to the end, everything. And I'm actually Next Generation 7th season right now. So yeah. So I have many seasons. I have 12 seasons of Star Trek behind me right now.
And then all the spin-offs, and then you get into the William Shatner bad TV shows. You've got a lot.
Yeah, it's it's from the beginning to the end, and I'm soon finishing Next Generation, so I'm going into Deep Space Nine probably next week.
Wow. Okay.
So here we go. But yeah, well, other than that, I haven't actually watched that many series, but I watched actually. I didn't remember. Was it on HBO or no? It was Amazon Prime actually. Tales from the Loop. That was really cool. It was really more maybe visually. That was really cool. It was really good looking, artsy sci-fi. Also checked out the crime series. Like every crime series, I'm a big it's crimes or it's sci-fi, but Mindhunter, for example, that was really awesome that I watched half a year ago, and Star Trek is always good.
So what I've learned about you like sci-fi and Star Trek. Insomnia can be cured through good sci-fi.
Well, no, it cannot be too good because then you stay up and watch it. It should be something that's like. But it can, it cannot be too bad either. If you watch something really crappy, then it's I don't care, and then you're just ending up scrolling through your Facebook feed or something instead of watching it. It should be something that is remotely interesting, but not too interesting keep you awake.
Great. Well, my last question: some people actually give advice, and some people just tell you which website to go to. Is any last words for the kids?
Last words for the kids. Well, about everything or
about anything. I mean, I've had people actually give me a 12-minute response on that, and I've had people go, "Nah, go to my website."
Yeah, exactly. Well, we can do a little bit of both here. No, I'm not gonna go 12 minutes, but yeah, of course, because right now there's we cannot really go anywhere, and we have and since we are home, I've seen that like lots of people really appreciate new music right now, and that's actually something, you know, that we were really picky about, that we don't want to, you know, sort of delay the album. We would have had probably the chance to delay it until we could actually go on tour, but we didn't really want it, because we thought, you know, 7 years is enough and people need new music right now. So we decided, you know, as little of a delay as we can possibly make, you know, and we had to delay it with 1 month, the album, because of some production stuff, you know, staff cuttings and stuff like that due to the coronavirus. But yeah, that's understandable. But yeah, so I really want everyone, you know, to know that we're actually working on gigs right now. We have actually a European tour next year that we're really optimistic about that will happen right now, the way actually things are going in Europe, if we can sort of control the second wave that we have here. But yeah, so go to trollhoarder.com, and there we have all dates, everything, and we are also trying to go across the Atlantic as soon, you know, as the borders open up. We're gonna start planning something. We had already some plans, but everything is sort of half a year at least late, and I hope that, you know, you guys out there, especially over in the States, you know, that you get it under control, and you know, we can come there and play, because we haven't been there since around Christmas 2013, I think. Well, yeah, we had 70,000 tons of metal this year, but, you know, not really mainland, nothing in 6.5 years. So yeah.
It's been a bit for sure, but we can't wait to see you in the States when the time is right. So thanks to the many years of great music, and just keep on doing what you're doing, because you matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the day, man. Take care.
Yeah.
Paltrocast.